Okay, I know it's early doors, but come on then. Hello, I am the Irish guy, not Susan, and today I'm going to take a look at every Premier League club and find the one new summer signing who has started the best out of all your newbies. Right, let's go. Arsenal, Nonny Madueke. Who saw this one coming? Who saw Nonny Madueke? And yes, I realize I'm getting Madueke's name wrong, but guess what? Everyone is getting my name wrong in the comments. But yeah, when he rocked up at Arsenal, oh boy. But oh yeah, no, he since rocked up at Arsenal and turned into a mini beast on the wing. Nobody saw this coming because, lads, when this guy signed, it was like the opposite of when they got Ozil. Seriously, back in 2013, when they lured the German from Real Madrid, Arsenal fans responded to that as if they'd just been personally kissed by the Queen. They were whooping and cheering like James Corden in a bakery. But when Madueke came to town from Chelsea, the Gunners fans reacted to that as if they'd been told to bite the dead skin of their grandma's foot. I commend Madueke for the self-belief to come in and effortlessly rip it up, because when all the fans are groaning about your rival in the same way as if they were told they were having cabbage for tea, it would eat most players' confidence with a spoon. But no, you started 5 matches and okay, I know, okay? No goals or assists so far would absolutely back up the claims and worries that Arsenal just splashed £50 million on someone with the end product of Panda Bear sick. And yeah, maybe Gaskin's early form is a bit too much, because I mean, it does seem weird how he still doesn't have a single goal involvement to his name, and now he's out injured for 2 months, meaning that, lads, it's going to be December, and the Arsenal fans still won't have seen a goal or an assist from Madueke. So yeah, that stat looks scarier than seeing a zombie eat your mum, but nah, still on the pitch, he still looked good. Aston Villa, Harvey Elliott. None of Aston Villa's new signings have started well. I'm sorry, but they've been a big basket of gone-off turnips, which is probably why the club have fired their sporting director. Seriously, instead of people turning on Unai Emery, oh no, instead people are blaming Monkey. I haven't seen a monkey become such a scapegoat since the Jungle Book. King Louis was done dirty. But yeah, it is true that Villa are scraping transfers from the bottom of a tub of butter for cheap PSR-friendly deals. And they haven't really worked out so far. None of their newbies have impressed. Most have barely been given minutes on the pitch. Emery clearly didn't want them. Seriously, I would imagine a strict coach who demands work rate. He looked at a celebrity playboy like Sancho, and he would have instantly felt like he just swallowed a toothbrush. But hey, if I had to pick one, it's Harvey Elliott, coming in on loan from Liverpool. The 22-year-old came off the bench against Everton and Sunderland and banged in a goal in the cup against Brentford. It is early days, but I think the 22-year-old will prove to be a good Villa signing. A bit like when they first signed Ross Barkley. Bournemouth, Adrian Trufer. Lads, I'm shocked, because when Bournemouth were forced into selling their left-back rockstar Milos Kerkez, I thought that whatever replacement they drummed up, he was going to look like a complete one-legged penguin by comparison. Oh no, to my actual shock, in comes 23-year-old Ren left-back Adrian Trufer for 15 mil. And yeah, I absolutely thought that the one-cap France wonder was going to be a wet ice cream getting grilled every week. No. He's been great. Utterly terrific, playing the full 90 minutes in every single available Premier League match. As the club have only lost once, Bournemouth only conceded 1 goal since the opening night of the season. That is outstanding. This is another Bournemouth gem. Seriously, give it a few months and bigger clubs are going to be begging Iriola on the phone to give them him as well. Trufer has been sensational. Well, I mean, as much as left-backs can be seen as sensational. Because let's be real, I don't think many people go to bed drooling into their Cheerios over defenders. It's like someone throwing a party to celebrate the fact that they got a good deal on pink curtains. Nobody cares. Brentford, Jordan Henderson. Look, no Brentford signing has totally ripped it up just yet, but I'll be nice and select Jordan Henderson for this one. Because yes, most people assume that the 35-year-old, after messing up his career for a couple of years after stupidly waddling out of Liverpool, they would have assumed that he's now a burnt-out crumpet with the stamina of a block of Weetabix. But to be fair, despite the fact that he looks older than Dumbledore's mum, he has been kind of okay. Come on, he started 4 league matches in a row, and sure, it's been mixed, okay? They lost twice, including at his boyhood Sunderland, which I'm guessing for him, that would have stung worse than a bumblebee to the face. But hey, Brentford did beat Villa. They took a point from Chelsea, where he even got himself an assist. The fact that he's still starting every week in the Premier League, fair play. Although maybe I shouldn't be too shocked, because earlier this year, Monaco wanted to sign him. They didn't get him and got Pogba instead. Weird replacement for Henderson. Brighton, Maxim de Kuiper. Look, the Brighton newbies have not been perfect either. Most of them have actually failed to scramble any minutes at all. All the football hipsters were squealing with excitement when the Seagulls were signing these odd players early doors. Seriously, they were acting like it was Christmas Eve and they could see a vegan steak sandwich under the tree. But left back Maxim de Kuiper, boy from Club Bruges, is the only one who's actually been starting matches. He was in from the start in the first 3 games, even helping the Seagulls beat Man City, but he then came off injured after just 25 minutes into the defeat to Bournemouth, and he hasn't been seen since. But hey, when he was on the pitch, he looked pretty good. Burnley, Jadon Anthony. Okay, where is this burst of form come from? Lads, Jadon Anthony is a 25-year-old winger who was on loan at Burnley in the Championship from Bournemouth last season, and he did okay, but they signed him permanently this summer for what, a tin of baked beans? And he's turned into a fantasy league superstar. I'm sorry, but 3 goals and an assist in 5 league matches. That is outstanding work for a winger who's already halfway to 50, and he has about as much chance of one day representing England as I do of giving Hagrid a wedgie on top of a rainbow. Okay, yes, Anthony does lose points for stupidly and clumsily conceding a last-minute penalty at Old Trafford. I mean, that was a stupider move than trying to tickle an XL bully. But hey, other than that, the score against Sunderland, Man United, and Forest, I'm impressed. Although Leeds fans are probably shocked to think they had both Jadon Anthony and Jed Spence on loan together in the Championship, and both were just milk carton duds. Their turnaround of form has probably left most Leeds fans mightily confused, as if they just discovered a dead sheep in their fridge. Chelsea, João Pedro. Look, I will admit, João Pedro was a bit more exciting in the summer when he ripped up the Club World Cup just a week after joining from Brighton. Now it's nearly early October and the hype has slightly mellowed a bit. You don't hear many people gassing him up as a world-class baller. However, I still think he's been pretty decent. He started 6 games, all 5 in the league, and he weighed in with 3 goals and 2 assists, where the highlight being where he almost single-handedly ripped apart a terrible West Ham on their own turf. I think he's going to be a great signing and will be their best striker since Diego Costa. I think he's been good. Crystal Palace, Yeremy Pino. Crystal Palace don't really have any newbies who've ripped it up yet. I guess maybe the best is the Eze replacement, the Spanish winger Yeremy Pino, who's showed flashes of brilliance, I guess, but he still hasn't really done anything yet and just went off injured against West Ham. So, next, Everton, Jack Grealish. Jack Grealish has 4 assists. I repeat, 4 assists. He got 1 in the Premier League last season. 1 in the Premier League this season before. He matched his last 2 seasons totals for Premier League assists in just 1 game against Brighton. And then he repeated the trick with another 2 against Wolves. He has been a delicious signing. And the fact that he's completed pretty much the full 90 minutes 4 times in a row, I'm shocked at that as well, because I assumed after years of inactivity and the fact that he was left out of a Club World Cup squad by Man City, and also the fact that he looks like he's been living off margaritas and cheeseburgers since the treble win, and the fact that he's now in his 30s, I thought the days of him playing every minute of every match were well behind him. I seriously thought that nowadays he might have the fitness levels of an elderly dog, but no, he's playing every single week, and he was probably secretly relieved that he didn't find the winner against his beloved Aston Villa, because I'm guessing that would have felt weirder than admitting that you want to marry the rabbit off the Nesquik box. Fulham, none. Don't even go there. Fulham have barely moved a muscle in the market, and nobody, I repeat, nobody has done nothing yet. Next, Leeds, Anton Stack. I like Leeds' new signings. Quietly, I do. Seriously, Daniel Farke's cohort of newbies have been a bunch of delicious teddy bears. They have gelled well and knitted in just fine so far this season. I mean, okay, it's not been perfect. I mean, poor old Sean Longstaff missed a penalty as they crashed out of the cup to Sheffield Wednesday, but okay, I'm going to pump for Anton Stack. A 26-year-old Germany international midfielder bought from Hoffenheim for 17 million quid, and he immediately announced himself to the Leeds fans by smashing a wonder goal past AC Milan in Dublin. And he's been great. A tough tackling all-action midfielder who's played the full 90 minutes in all 5 Premier League games so far. He spanked in an outrageous free kick against Wolves. He has been absolutely superb. Liverpool, Hugo Ekitike. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm glad the answer is not Isaac yet. Newcastle also tried to buy Hugo Ekitike this summer, and also in the summer of 2022. We wanted him first. So to see him absolutely tearing it up at Anfield every week, it really does make me feel a bit queasy. Like I've just eaten some pink sausages out of the bathroom sink, which is probably like licking toothpaste off a pig. Ekitike has been wonderful, but I still think this is going to be a frustrating season for the Frenchman. Come on, he absolutely deserves to start every match for Liverpool this season, but no. Lads, he still hasn't come even close to completing 90 minutes in a Liverpool shirt yet. There's only been 1 game so far where he was given more than 72 minutes on the pitch, which must be so annoying because he scored 5 goals in 8 matches. He's averaging a goal every 100 minutes. However, I mean, he did just get sent off for ripping off his shirt. So, I mean, choosing to pick up a ban like that when there's an already hungry, ready-made, world-class striker ready to steal your spot, that is sillier than the plot of any Michael Bay film. It's actually embarrassingly careless. What's the point of taking off your shirt when you're wearing a red undershirt underneath it anyway? It's about as pointless as me doing the rest of this video clutching a teddy bear. Man City, Tierney Reindeers. Look, Donnarumma has looked pretty imperious since joining at the last minute from PSG, but the answer here is Tierney Reindeers. Joining from AC Milan for a decent 50 mil, he effortlessly slots into City's midfield, and he hasn't missed a single minute of Premier League action. He scored in his debut against Wolves and has weighed in with 3 assists since. Look, he's not De Bruyne, okay? And I doubt their City fans rushing to go out there now and tattoo his face on their nose, but Reindeers has been good. Man United, Bryan Mbeumo. the only answer, I guess. Because Benjamin Šeško has been a human potato up top so far, and Mateus Cunha has not really looked the same since botching a penalty against Grimsby, so I guess I'm gonna have to plumb for Bryan Mbeumo. Look, for a £71 million winger, he needs to do much better than his 1 goal and no assists in 5 Premier League matches. I mean, sorry, but players who cost that much money really need to be doing far more than just netting against Burnley and Grimsby. And even against Grimsby, he was the reason with his missed penalty why Man United crushed one of their most embarrassing ever cup exits. Man United fans will rightly expect more. Because don't forget, even Anthony, somebody who was an expensive Brazilian teabag at Old Trafford, don't forget, he still scored in his first 3 Premier League matches. Against Arsenal and Man City, Mbeumo needs to polish up his end product. Because yes, he's looked lively, worked hard, and looked semi-threatening, I guess. But he absolutely needs to do better. Boy, howdy does he need to do better. Did I actually say boy, howdy? What am I, Woody from Toy Story? Newcastle, Malik, ciao. I'm going rogue here. This might seem like a weird suggestion, sure. But hey, the new signing who's impressed me so far is not Voltamati or Alanga. No, it is the new Germany international centre-back purchase from AC Milan. I mean, he's had to wait for his chance. I mean, come on, he just scrambled 9 minutes in his first 4 league matches. However, when he came on for the final half hour against Barcelona in the Champions League, I thought he looked brave in possession, was concentrated at the back. Then he plays 84 minutes for Newcastle as they grab a clean sheet away to a tricky Bournemouth. And yeah, he just played the full 90 minutes in a 4-1 win over Bradford in the Cup. I think Chow is going to squeak his way into the starting lineup on a regular basis soon. I actually think he's going to jump above Sven Botman in the pecking order, and I think he's going to play every single League Cup match as Newcastle reclaim their crown. Seriously, you might be calling me insane. Maybe I'm seeing things that aren't really there. Maybe me shooting love heart emojis at Chow looks about as desperate as someone asking the tooth fairy out on a date, but I think MT has looked sharp. Nottingham Forest, Igor Jesus. Yeah, so far, Forest newbie signings have been a bit of a mess. There hasn't seemed to be a proper plan for any of them. Even the high-profile names like Hutchinson, Zinchenko, Louise, and McAtee. It doesn't feel like anyone in the training ground actually wanted them. But hey, right now, Brazilian striker Igor Jesus, bought for Botafogo, he has been an anonymous cupcake in the Prem, failed to get given a single start, but that's all going to change soon because he is ripping it up in the Cups. He scored a brace against Swansea in the League Cup, and then followed it up with a brace against Real Betis in Europe. Right now, his Cup form is probably causing Chris Wood to panic. I mean, don't forget, the Kiwi striker hasn't scored in 5 weeks. Jesus, I think he's going to steal his Premier League spot. Sunderland, Granit Xhaka. Okay, a lot of Sunderland signings have looked great. I thought their collection of inexperienced newbies, I thought they were just going to wind up being a bin bag full of crisp packets. No, they've mostly excelled, and Granit Xhaka, his arrival could have caused some tears in the dressing room, considering he just waltzed in to tear the captain's armband off the homegrown Dan Neil. Seriously, Sunderland's promotion-winning captain. He's only got 1 minute of Premier League football under his belt so far. I'm guessing he must be the only Sunderland fan who wishes that Xhaka drowns in his Rice Krispies. But hey, Xhaka has been brilliant. He hasn't missed a single minute of action so far. The team have only lost once with him on the pitch. He's weighed in with 2 assists as well. If he keeps this up, I genuinely believe that Sunderland getting Xhaka is one of the biggest coups and greatest deals in Premier League history. Meanwhile, his predecessor Job is out in Germany getting his daddy to tell the teacher on the coach not picking him enough. Tottenham Mo Kudus. Mo Kudus is a breathtaking footballer. Seriously, this Ghanaian winger is an absolute baller. But after a pretty rubbish year at West Ham, there wasn't really any hype behind his £50 million switch to Spurs. Yeah, he's been immense, but I'm sorry, out of every single signing in the league, I think him coming into Spurs on that right wing, he has been the biggest breath of fresh air. He started every match, and like Grealish, he also has 2 different games where he netted a brace of assists against Burnley and Brighton. Still no goals yet, but lads, he's running defenders ragged. He's only had 1 game where he didn't play well in the defeat to Bournemouth. Otherwise, special signing. West Ham, Mateus Fernandes. West Ham signings have been absolute toilet water. There's a ridiculous low bar right now to stand out as West Ham's best summer signing so far, because nobody has really looked good. Look, £40 million Portuguese midfielder Mateus Fernandes did have a good debut, playing left wing as West Ham ran out 3-0 winners of Forest. Although he's had the impact of a fudge cheesecake in midfield for the next 2 matches, defeats against Spurs and Palace. But hey, purely because of that one promising debut, I guess he has to get the nod for West Ham. Wolves, Ladislav Krejci. Where did this signing come from? I didn't even notice this one went through. Wolves signed Czech midfielder Ladislav Krejci on loan from Girona, and he's done okay. He played the full 90 minutes in defeats against Newcastle and Leeds, although he did score against Leeds, and he played the full 90 minutes in midfield as Wolves knocked Everton out of the League Cup, so I guess he's been okay. Anyway, that's the video. Let me know what do you think. Let me know who has been your best signing so far. Let me know in the comments. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, guys. I'll talk to you in a while.